Welcome back to Rare Coin Numix. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get started with today's video. In the world of numismatics, every coin has its own story to tell, and the 1965 France 1/2 franc coin is one of the more fascinating examples of how an everyday piece of currency can evolve into a highly sought-after collector's item, with an astonishing value that few could have predicted when it was first minted. Though it may appear like a simple, small coin at first glance, the 1965 France 1/2 franc coin carries with it the weight of history, culture, and a series of political and economic events that shaped its place in the world. From the backdrop of post-war France to its modern-day value of around $22,000, the journey of this coin is both captivating and surprising. The year 1965 was a pivotal moment in the history of France. The country was still reeling from the effects of World War II, which had ended 2 decades earlier, and while France had managed to rebuild much of its infrastructure, the social and political landscape was changing rapidly. The leadership of President Charles de Gaulle, who had assumed office in 1959, was still firmly in place, and he was ushering in a period of reform and modernization. His government had been dealing with various challenges, including decolonization, economic recovery, and the broader political tensions of the Cold War. At the same time, France was looking to stabilize its economy and modernize its currency system. This is where the 1965 1/2 franc coin comes into play. Before 1965, the 1/2 franc coin had a long history in France. It had been in use for centuries, but over time, coins of smaller denominations like the 1/2 franc gradually fell out of favor, particularly as the cost of goods and services increased with inflation. By the early 1960s, France was experiencing significant economic changes. In an attempt to streamline and modernize its currency system, the French government decided to reintroduce the 1/2 franc coin in 1965. The move was part of a larger effort to update the design and denominations of French coins in an era of rapid economic and political change. The decision to mint a 1/2 franc coin in 1965 wasn't just about reviving an old tradition. It was also a reflection of the times. The French economy was growing, and there was a need for more coins to meet the demands of daily transactions. In fact, the 1965 1/2 franc was one of several denominations introduced or redesigned during this period, signaling France's transition into a more modern economic landscape. The coin was designed with simplicity in mind, representing the national identity while also being functional for everyday use. Little did anyone know that this coin, which was essentially a part of the modern currency system of the time, would become an object of desire for future generations of collectors. The design of the coin itself is worth noting. Lucien Bazur, a prominent French engraver, was tasked with designing the 1965 1/2 franc coin. Bazur was a master of creating visually striking yet symbolic designs for coins, and his work on the 1/2 franc coin is no exception. On the obverse of the coin, you'll find a powerful and elegant depiction of Marianne, the symbol of the French Republic. Marianne had been used on French coins for centuries, and she embodies the principles of liberty, equality, and fraternity, the very ideals upon which the French Republic was founded. In the 1965 coin, Marianne's image is rendered with grace, her flowing hair symbolizing freedom and progress, and her calm expression reflecting the dignity and resilience of the French people. On the reverse side of the coin, there's a simple but meaningful design: an olive branch and a cornucopia. The olive branch has long been a symbol of peace, while the cornucopia, often referred to as the horn of plenty, represents abundance, prosperity, and the potential for economic growth. The pairing of these two symbols on the reverse side of the 1/2 franc coin was a deliberate design choice, reflecting the optimism and hope that France, emerging from the struggles of war and political unrest, had for its future. Beneath the imagery, the inscription 1/2 franc clearly states the coin's value, while the year 1965 is also included, marking the time of its production. The 1965 1/2 franc coin was produced using cupronickel, a metal alloy composed of copper and nickel, chosen for its durability and resistance to wear. The coin itself is small, weighing just 2.5 grams and with a diameter of 21 millimeters, making it a practical size for everyday use. At the time of its release, the 1/2 franc coin wasn't seen as anything extraordinary. It circulated widely, along with other coins in the same denomination, contributing to the vibrant and dynamic economy of 1960s France. But as with many historical artifacts, the true significance of the coin wouldn't be fully realized until decades later, by the late 1960s and early 1970s. The French economy was once again undergoing significant changes. The government was phasing out certain coins, including the 1/2 franc, as part of a broader currency reform. The 1/2 franc coin was officially withdrawn from circulation in 1970 and was replaced by the 1 franc coin, which marked the end of an era for the 1/2 franc denomination. This relatively short time in circulation, combined with the fact that many of the coins were worn out or melted down in subsequent years, meant that only a small number of 1,965 1/2 franc coins remained in circulation, and even fewer in good condition. As time passed, collectors began to take notice of the 1965 1/2 franc coin, particularly those in pristine or near-perfect condition. The relatively small number of coins still in circulation, combined with the growing interest in numismatics, meant that the 1965 1/2 franc coin became increasingly rare and highly sought after by collectors. But the true significance of the coin wasn't fully appreciated until later, when it became apparent that, in mint condition, the 1965 1/2 franc could command a substantial price at auction. So, why is the 1965 France 1/2 franc coin worth so much today? The answer lies in a combination of factors: rarity, historical significance, and condition. While millions of these coins were minted, many were circulated, and over time most became damaged or worn down. The majority of coins from this period are now in poor condition, but those few that remain in mint or near-mint condition are considered exceptional by collectors. In fact, some of these coins have been sold at auction for staggering amounts, up to $22,000 or more, depending on their condition and provenance. This price might seem shocking at first. After all, the 1965 1/2 franc coin was originally worth just 50 centimes, a small sum by today's standards. However, the value of rare coins is often determined by factors far beyond their face value. The rarity of the coin, the condition it is in, and the demand from collectors all play a role in determining its price. When you combine these elements with the historical context of the coin and its place in the broader story of France's currency, it becomes clear why the 1965 1/2 franc is such a valuable piece of numismatic history. For collectors, owning a 1965 1/2 franc coin is more than just an investment. It's a way to connect with the past. Each coin tells a story of the time in which it was minted, of the people who used it, and of the larger historical forces that shaped its design and circulation. Holding a pristine example of the 1965 1/2 franc is like holding a small piece of French history in your hand, a connection to the country's post-war transformation and the political, economic, and cultural changes that were taking place at the time. If you're looking to find one of these rare coins, you'll have to be prepared to do some serious searching. The 1965 1/2 franc coin is not something you're likely to find in your spare change or at a local coin shop. Most of the coins that are still in circulation today are in less than ideal condition. However, if you're persistent and know where to look, whether it's through online numismatic auctions, rare coin dealers, or specialized collectors groups, you might just come across a gem that could be worth a small fortune. But remember, even if you don't happen to find one in mint condition, the journey of collecting, learning about the history behind these coins, and understanding their value is what makes numismatics such a fascinating and rewarding hobby. At the end of the day, the 1965 France 1/2 franc coin is a perfect example of how a small, unassuming object can transcend its initial purpose as currency and become a valuable artifact of history. It's a reminder that sometimes the true worth of something isn't immediately apparent. Coins like the 1965 1/2 franc, with their rich history and cultural significance, show us that the past is never as distant as it seems, and that the story of a coin can be just as valuable as the metal it's made from. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone just beginning to explore the world of numismatics, the 1965 France 1/2 franc coin serves as a testament to the enduring allure of rare and historic coins, and the unexpected treasures that can be found in the most unlikely places. That wraps up our deep dive into the 1/2 franc 1965 coin, a truly fascinating piece of history, rich in design and value. We hope you enjoyed learning more about its unique features and significance. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you found this video interesting, make sure to hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on more incredible discoveries. We've got many more hidden gems coming your way. See you in the next video.